The 28th Angle Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey.
How's episode 2. It's going pretty good. How you doing?
Yeah, episode 2. I'm good. I hurt my back, so I guess it could be better, but that's okay. So
yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I've just been extremely busy with life and sports and stuff. So
you have, yeah.
I'm good, I guess. Otherwise, I feel
I've
like I
also been
drove
busy with life.
I drove over an hour to like get kids and back home like 3 or 4 times last week, and that's rough. I mean,
But
I know
that's like
you
your-
drive that on a normal basis, but
but that's like
not
your new
me.
week, right? You're like that. You're going to be doing that every week now.
I hope not.
Oh.
I mean, yes, at least twice, but I hope that I have help otherwise.
Oh, okay.
They
This week.
extended practice longer, so she doesn't get out until 6:30, so therefore I could make it there every day, but I shouldn't have to. I only did it last week because they had a parent meeting at one of them, so I had to go.
Oh. So I have been working on my, cosplay a little bit more. So my mask is coming together. Other than that, I have actually, when this is recording, I have a parent-teacher conference for my youngest. So that'll be very interesting.
Oh,
I can't wait to hear all
I
the
bet.
details on that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be my week. Very interested.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready for Halloween. So this year we are doing Halloween. Well, I mean, I've been doing Halloween at my house for the past 3 years. Jay's Jerky, who is a buddy of ours that was actually a guest on our podcast last season, he usually comes to my house, or not usually, he does come to my house, and he sets up his tent at my house. We hand out candy for the kids, and then for protein and energy, the parents come and they grab their jerky as they're trick-or-treating. Big hit. This year we're adding a smoothie tent.
And Shelly lives in a neighborhood that's huge for trick-or-treating.
Huge.
Like, it's the neighborhood I also used to live in, but I mean, thousands of kids, people trick-or-treat that
last
neighborhood.
year, we didn't do treat bags and we ran out of candy at like 8 o'clock. And the year before we did 300 treat bags and we ran out of candy. This year we did 500. So we're hoping,
see when you run out. Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping that it's going to be good. We're adding a lot more stuff this year. So if you live in Florida or in my town, come on down to my neighborhood.
Yeah, I used to run out of candy too. When I lived there, we always, of course, did it big too.
Mm-hmm.
I go all out, and when I lived there, I had a neighborhood that people went trick-or-treating at anyway. I would go crazy with decorations. So yeah, we used to always make treat bags then, years and years ago now, and would run out too. So it's crazy. So since Halloween's on a Friday, we're gonna all get to go out there and
Yay, we all get to go
together again.
Yeah, be together because it's on a Friday. So
Past
And
couple
next
Halloweens
year,
have been
yeah,
on weekdays, so it's crazy.
yeah. Next year will be on a Saturday, so we'll see what happens next year. I'm thinking it's going to be crazy this year just because it's on a Friday.
yeah, probably.
So,
Yeah, so it should be fun. So happy Halloween, because this will be
Halloween.
the one time we get to tell you guys. I guess.
I'm wearing my Halloween shirt. It's got little ghosts and witches and pumpkins on it. You can't really see it, but
Which
it's
brings
Halloween.
up our episode. So
Yeah.
in honor of Halloween, I don't know what you want to call the other episode since I just said that, but for this week we'll go in honor of Halloween. We are going to be doing a haunted house episode again. So just, I guess, a little opening before we go in there. Today we're traveling to a small town with a big secret, Atchison, Kansas. And I think you guys know the name, don't you?
Kansas.
Yes.
So
Shelly does. I don't.
our
I
destination,
feel like I should.
you should, yeah, is a
Yeah.
seemingly innocent looking Victorian style house which, you know, I love Victorian style houses. But the house has a reputation that's so terrifying. It's known as one of the most haunted houses in America. So, of course, we're talking about the Sallie House. And this house, reading about it, is probably one of the scariest ones I've read about, which is crazy considering like Leap Castle's insane. But I just feel like maybe this one's like more realistic because it's in the US and I could get to it. Maybe, I don't know.
I was gonna say, I wonder if it's because it's like,
yeah,
here
Well,
where
have
we
fun
can
with that.
go.
Okay.
So
They're going on a day trip or
so our
a
Shelley's
weekend trip.
visit with us, our weekend trip
No.
to Kansas. Oh, all right. Are we ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to put on scary music for myself.
Well, by the time this records, there'll be scary music too. So, all
All right,
let's do it.
Let's go.
Three best friends twist and spin. Victoria, Heather, and Shelley, let the fun begin. Stories to tell, laughs to ignite. It's the 28th angle shining bright. Every week a brand new game. Three voices, one wild flame. Come hang with us, you'll agree. The 28th angle's the place to be.
So, the pain was absolute. It ripped through the 6-year-old girl like a frantic, desperate blade. She was lying on a makeshift operating table, struggling to breathe, blinded by terror and agony. In the early 1900s, this unsuspecting house, located at 508 North 2nd Street in Atchison, Kansas, was not just a family residence. It was a medical office, an examination room, and on one fateful day, an amateur operating theater. A desperate mother had rushed her small, severely ill daughter, later identified by the legends as Sallie, to the physician's residence within. The doctor, fearing an imminent ruptured appendix, determined there was no time to delay emergency surgery. In a decision driven by panic and perceived necessity, the cutting began before the limited anesthesia of the era had even taken full effect.
Oh my God.
The child's final moments were spent screaming, conscious of the intense, blinding pain, dying on the operating table.
Oh, wow.
Her
Jesus.
last coherent thought was that the man hovering above her was not a healer, but a tormentor.
Oh, wow.
The legend holds that the Sallie House is haunted by the lingering spirit of this lost, innocent child, Sallie. Seeking justice for her short, betrayed life, this is the story sold to tourists and embraced by paranormal lore. Yet, the history of this house reveals a more complex and ultimately more malevolent narrative. What if the perceived innocent of this haunting is merely a carefully constructed mask? What if the house is actually occupied by something far, far more dangerous? A deceptive entity that feeds upon the primal fear of betrayal and uses the sympathetic image of a dead child to lure its targets. So, the physical location of the haunting is, like I mentioned earlier, it's 508 North Street, Atchison, which I could definitely be saying wrong, Kansas. It's deceptively ordinary. The structure is a 2-story white house with blue trim, blending seamlessly into the historic, picturesque Victorian neighborhood. Despite its unassuming appearance, the Sallie House is routinely cited by paranormal researchers as the most intensely haunted house in the United States, primarily due to the intense and often violent nature of the spectral outbursts reported within. The history of the property dates back to the mid-1800s. It was constructed between 1867 and 1871, originally commissioned by Michael Finney. Michael Finney passed away shortly after its completion in 1872. Eventually, his son, Dr. Charles Finney, took ownership. Dr. Finney was one of the few physicians in Atchison utilizing the front rooms of the residence as his medical office and examination space. While his family lived in the rooms upstairs, It should be noted that some investigators have questioned the structural suitability and original floor plans of the house for the surgery/office setup, suggesting the historical details surrounded by Dr. Finley's practice within the home may be part of the evolving retroactive legends.
So he did surgeries in that house.
Yeah, right. Right.
Oh
I mean,
my
I guess
God.
necessary ones, but yeah, they had anesthesia, the ones that they
obviously
used,
had-
obviously not the same.
Less rules and stuff
Yeah,
back
I
then.
guess.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
we are talking
Comparative now.
Yeah.
1800s, 1872. Maybe a little after that. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's just kind of lays
You
out
could have
the...
did it out in the building attached to the house. Oh.
Maybe he
I
didn't
don't
have one. Probably wasn't a whole lot of choices there.
Yeah, probably not.
So, the popular narrative of the Sallie House is linked to the tragic medical emergency described in the opening, the frantic arrival of the mother and the child, the diagnosis of acute appendicitis, the hasty surgery performed without full anesthesia, and the resulting traumatic death of the 6-year-old child. The core narrative, focused on intense physical trauma and betrayal, served as the universal accepted foundation for the subsequent paranormal activity. However, historical investigations introduce a critical flaw in this foundation. Genealogically, research has been exhaustive in attempting to verify the identity and death of the victim, Sallie. Excuse me. Despite the widespread acceptance of this tragic story, there's no definitive history, record, death certificate, nothing that confirms that the young girl named Sallie died in this house due to a failed appendectomy performed by Dr. Finley. So really, that's all just legend, and people have obviously ran with it.
Yeah, for reals.
And we'll get into, obviously we're about to get into why. So, the name Sallie itself appears to have been entered the public consciousness after the fact. Early in the hauntings history, a resident contacted a psychic in California named Barbara, who, despite the distance, claimed there was a ghost in the house, a young girl between 5 and 13 years old named Sallie. The details suggested a profound possibility. The house's most famous narrative is either a complete misattribution or the name and identity were externally projected onto a pre-existing haunting. If the child Sallie never actually existed or did not die in that specific traumatic manner by the hands of Dr. Finney, the haunting entity may have adopted the sympathetic identity of Sallie. This potential deception suggests that the spirit's motive is not simply vengeance for medical malpractice, but something entirely different, using the tragic surgical failure as a carefully crafted cover story. The entity inhabiting the property may have fundamentally deceptive, manipulating visitors and residents with a narrative of youthful victimhood. So basically, people could have known about this story, or the spirit, or the, whatever's living there has now just kind of grabbed onto that theory and ran with it. So, yeah. And like, there's people that lived there and went through a bunch of stuff with it too. So it's very crazy.
Is it still
There's no
standing?
way. Yeah, it's still standing. You can buy tickets. You can go see it.
We're gonna plan a trip, shall we?
I'll say we're gonna go one day, Shelley. The widespread fame of the Sallie House is largely traced back to the extensive documentation of the experiences of Tony and Deborah Pickman. So, they moved into the house on December 31st, 1992. The young couple was a newly married couple and expecting their first child. Drawn by the historical character of the property and its 2 bedrooms, which included a nursery. The first 2 months of their living there were relatively quiet, but soon strange occurrences began to manifest. Tony and Deborah observed the lights in the house dimming and brightening nightly, a strange electrical anomaly that presented that persisted despite multiple repair attempts by professionals who could find no structural faults. More disconcerting, personal items were manipulated. Photos on the wall were found turned upside down, and at least one photo was shattered. Their
That would
dog
be
would often
wild.
growl. Yeah, it would be. Just imagine waking up and your pictures are upside down.
Yeah.
Their-
I'd be out.
Yeah, Shelly would not even say anything. She'd be calling us from the driveway. Their dog would often growl and bark intently at unseen entities around the house. So the activity focused intensely on the nursery after the birth of their son. In the hallway,
This is why I would never buy a house that was built
that long ago.
before I was born. Well, before I was born.
I would definitely have to go feel the vibe out before. Even then, though, I don't know, because they can not show up
Like,
until later.
there's some like, no,
Just no.
No.
Just no. So in a hallway example of child ghost behavior, seemingly playful and non-threatening, stuffed animals were repeatedly taken off the shelves. On one eerie night, investigators reported finding all the stuffed animals arranged in a perfect circle in the middle of the nursery floor, as if they were having a meeting.
She was just playing.
Hell no.
What's wrong with that?
The initial behavior served to reinforce the narrative of the house being haunted by a curious and playful child spirit. The perception of the haunting quickly shifted from playful curiosity to targeted physical malice.
See, that's what happens. They're all nice and playful, and then
Doesn't
bam.
always happen that way. That is not
I
true.
don't know. I've watched a lot of scary
According to
movies.
Shelley's stories, they are.
They always try to like butter you up, and then bam, before you know it. Full on
Before you know it. Oh man.
scary.
You would have left before they got that far, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as the lights were dimming, I would have been out of the
probably
house.
wouldn't have, but
She would have stepped foot in the door and then said, "Nope, we're selling."
Nope, we're done. We're not living here. Are you crazy?
Oh man. So the activity escalated significantly, becoming far more physical and dangerous. Crucially, this violence was almost exclusively directed at Tony Pickman, the male head of the household. Deborah and their baby were reportedly never physically harmed by the entity. Tony experienced severe physical phenomenon. Objects would visibly move when he came near them, and he would often suffer intense, mysterious coldness, particularly when standing in the area believed to be Dr. Finney's former operating space. The most chilling manifestations were the unexplained injuries that appeared on his body during or after the visits of the hotspots of the activities.
assuming this came from because there was a guy that hurt her. Like, if we're going with that story,
Right, exactly, yeah. So they think that, it was a male doctor that hurt ultimately.
So, how long do these people stay in this house?
We'll get there, Shelley. We'll
Okay.
get
Shelley
there.
just needs to know right now.
She's like, how long did they put up with this? Because she would have been gone already. Oh my goodness. So he would often discover unexplained scratches or bruises. In one famous incident documented by investigators, Tony discovered 3 bloody scratches across his chest and abdominal.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Shelley's face.
Yeah. After fleeing
wasn't
the
laughing at
house
the
in
story.
terror. Oh, it's so funny. He got no. The consistency of the targeted gender-specific attacks against Tony suggest a calculated intelligence behind the haunting. So what we just kind of talked about. The entity appeared to identify Tony as a male figure of authority, a direct proxy for Dr. Finney, the male tormentor in the original legend. This retaliatory pattern elevates the haunting beyond generic poltergeist activity into a realm of active, intelligent, and vengeful manipulated tied directly to the house's history of trauma. The violence is a projection of retribution against a perceived aggressor. Beyond the physical attacks, the paranormal entity engaged in deep psychological assaults against Tony Pickman. His wife, Deborah, later described the experiments as bordering on a mental attack. So, Tony began experiencing profound self-doubt, leading him to question his own perception of reality and sanity, which I think that would happen to me too. So,
I mean, yeah, if it's just happening to you, like,
yeah, I'd be like, am I crazy? Like, what is going on? Like, turn me in. What am I doing? So, the psychological vulnerability was exploited by the entity. The malevolent presence twisted his perception, eventually influencing him towards horrific, dark thoughts. Deborah Pickman recounted that Tony recalled with significant remorse, making intense plans to actually kill me. So, the psychological breaking point, the use of the host to plan violence against the innocent domestic life, is a critical piece of evidence. It suggests the influence of a deeply malevolent or potentially demonic entity which utilized the perceived innocence of Sallie as a disguise, a facade, or something more demonic. The goal was the comprehensive destruction of the family unit, contradicting any narrative of any merely playful ghost child. So, further compounding the sense of wrongness was the behavior of animals. While their family dog barked at unseen things, a specific or unnerving detail cited by multiple visitors that trained guide dogs universally refused to enter the nursery. This acute rejection by trained animals highlighted the intense, localized negative energy specifically contained within the child's room. Yeah, imagine.
That child better not be sleeping in there much longer. They should have took the baby out.
Well, I mean,
it's not hurting the baby though, right?
No, it's not hurting the baby, but also, like, I don't think there's anything happening in the nursery. Like, it was a nursery when they moved in because it was just always a nursery, you know? So, the focus on the unverified Sallie legend overshadows a dark, historically documented death that occurred in or immediately adjacent to the Finley residence. The tragedy involving Frank Barnes. So, in 1906, Johanna Barnes, who had a documented history of severe mental health issues and had been institutionalized for being violently insane, was released to the custody of Dr. Finney. On September 24th, 1906, Johanna attempted suicide by turning on the gas stove in the downstairs room, lying down on a cot with her 5-year-old son, Frank Barnes. Johanna survived the attempt, but Frank died in the fumes. This historical account introduces a chilling, verified alternative origin of the hauntings. Some investigators believe that Johanna may be the powerful, dominating female entity whose ghost voice has allegedly been captured on audio, and who may have been the source of the gender-specific hatred intended on harming male visitors, such as Tony Pickman. The existence of the Barnes tragedy provides a complex, verifiable anchor for the malevolent in this house, suggesting that the targeted violence and psychological terror may stem from not from the pain of a surgical victim, but deep-seated psychosis and murderous intent of an adult killer. If the primary entity haunting the house is indeed intelligent and manipulative, it would benefit from maintaining the sympathetic Sallie narrative to draw in curious visitors and investigators, diverting scrutiny away from the true source of darkness, the rage of a woman who took the child's life through suffocating, poisoning death. I like always wonder, like, how did they, like, that part of it is like confirmed history, you know, they have evidence of. It's like, how did we get from that to Sallie? Like, I mean, I know how it happens, obviously, but it's so crazy that it's kind of still the Sallie House, you know, like.
So why, I guess I'm still confused why they're going, if we're in that story, why are they going after the male?
For the The confirmed story?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know that it goes into that, except for just that she was violently mental, like she was mentally ill. She had
a male in her life.
I'm saying, I guess
she was released to a male, yeah, who probably, Dr. Finney, who probably,
I guess. That
can't
was
do
her
this, you can't do that.
source,
Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
I mean, and there maybe there's more history to it too as well that I didn't, include everything, or I know there's a lot to this, and so I was like trying to fit it all into one podcast. is always part of the struggle here. So yeah, beyond the spiritual and historical narrative, scientific analysis provided a critical grounding explanation for many paranormal reported in the Sallie House. Skeptical researchers frequently observe that many common symptoms associated with the hauntings include feeling of being watched, hearing footsteps or voices, headaches, dizziness, and sudden paranoia or illness. And they're also classified clinical indicators of carbon monoxide poison. So there's also that. The Pickman experiences align disturbingly well with the chronic CO exposure. They reported dimming lights suggesting infrastructure issues, and Tony suffered severe psychological degeneration, paranormal, and onset of violent thoughts. These are all symptoms associated with a low-level, long-term exposure to odorless, colorless gas.
Oh.
If that doesn't make him feel more crazy, I don't know what would.
But they didn't have, inspections? You said 1992, right?
Yeah, 1992.
I feel like we did.
Well, and they said that they had brought people out to check out all that stuff. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be part of it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I feel like it would be.
Have
an
an inspector, I'm sure.
But I mean, there probably are tons of people calling him crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like they're trying to find any reason. Like, that's not true. It's you have carbon monoxide poison.
Yeah.
And if somebody told me that, well, I already thought I was crazy, I'd be like, maybe I am. Maybe it is just that.
Crazy.
But I mean, the wife never experienced, you know what I mean? Any experience any of that? Doesn't that eliminate that completely to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like it does.
She would have some type of symptom at least.
At least one
and
or
the
two
baby?
of them. Right.
Yeah,
the
the
baby.
baby.
Yeah, it was crazy. So the structural element introduces the concept of structural malevolence. Given that Frank Barnes died in this house from gas fumes in 1906, the property clearly possessed a faulty or dangerous gas infrastructure in the past. If this infrastructure was never fully corrected, or if age systems still produced traces of CO, the environment itself could chemically introduce the hallucinations, the psychosis, the extreme stress reported by occupants. The physical hazard creates an environment that actively twists the minds of its inhabitants, preparing them for spiritual or physical collapse. If the house chemically manufactured vulnerabilities, the line between pathology and possession becomes terrifyingly blurred. The primary claims of the haunting, when viewed through a skeptic's lens, shows the consistent overlap with known physical phenomenons. So, and then, yeah, actually. So the Sallie House is a critical nexus where unverified legends, verifiable historic tragedies, and acute environmental pathologies converge. The entity or entities operating within have mastered the art of psychological warfare and strategic misdirection. The evidence strongly suggests that the haunting is predicted on deception. By presenting itself initially as symptomatic, non-life-threatening spirit of the surgical victim Sallie, the entity lures residents in, like the Pickmans, to a false sense of comfort, just like Shelley said. However, the escalation to the target gender-specific violence against Tony, culminating in destructive psychological impulses and physical attacks. So, yeah.
You said there was a movie, right?
I think there's shows. So there's actually 2 shows. Well, there's one show about Tony and Deborah Pickman. That's the one I was trying to watch from the server, you know? It's an episode of, what's it called? A Haunting, episode 2. Season 2, episode 4, I think it is. It could be like, I can't remember the episode. I think it's episode 4, but A Haunting, season 2, episode 4, I believe. But there's also a show. Oh, I wish I would have remembered. I wish I would have wrote it down, but I didn't. There's a show where investigators go in and investigate the Sallie House. So like one of those famous paranormal researcher people go in and investigate the house. And I did watch that one. And that one's pretty crazy too. That one's definitely worth watching. I wonder if I have it written down here somewhere. I probably. Oh, U.S. Ghost Adventures. Yeah, The Sallie House by U.S. Ghost Adventures. So
is that Zach? Is that Zach that does it?
I don't know. Nobody else
remember.
knows this, but this was supposed to be our final episode of season 2 or season 1. A lot of the research I did was literally months ago, or when I watched that was literally months ago. So,
okay, I'll look it up.
But actually, there's a couple things that go bump in the night. A haunted houses in Atchison, Kansas. U.S. Ghost Adventures did one. There's a haunting history of the Sallie House. The Circuit. So yeah, there's actually a bunch.
I like
it looks
watching.
like you can watch that on YouTube.
Okay. I like watching those ghost adventure shows, but only in the daytime. Okay.
Only in the daytime.
You know what? Eliana's been on a kick where she's been watching stuff about scary houses. I wonder if she'd want to watch it with me.
Oh, that'd be cool. Maybe she would. So I think, and that pretty much covers it, but I have some like real life instances that has happened that I wanted to go over if you guys were interested. To kind of round it out.
You visit, right?
Yeah, like people can still go, like you can go buy tickets and go in there and set up and investigate and all that stuff. So yeah.
Sure, you can talk about it, but it ain't happening over here.
Yeah, it is. Let's tell Shelly what she's gonna experience. So I'm ready.
In the car?
In the
Overnight
car.
stays. We can go stay there.
Right.
Well, are you guys? No.
You don't want to go play with the little girl or the little boy?
That show, the one I watched, I can't remember now. Like, I feel like it was the one where the investigators went in. Like, there's some, and I know it's TV, so I don't know how it actually happened, but like, there's actually some scary moments in there because it's like they did the whole stuffed animal thing and they put them in a circle. And then they go out at night or what they do their normal stuff, just like every show does. But there was a one of the stuffed animals that actually, like, he didn't fall over. Like most people are like, oh, he just fell over or the wind blew, or no, you could see that thing like wobbled back and forth and then rolled around. Like it's worth watching. It was really crazy, actually. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that episode. So there's a couple stories, like real life instances that happen here. There's a paranormal investigator who, I guess they want to remain anonymous for some reason. So once recounted a story, I guess, from his team's visit. They had a camera set up in the bedroom and they were monitoring it from downstairs. Suddenly, the camera's feed went black. When they rushed upstairs to check on it, the camera was completely unplugged. The cord was coiled neatly on the floor, and it was impossible for that to have just fallen out. It was deliberate and an intelligent act, he said. So there was another chilling account that comes from a woman named Sarah, who visited the house with a tour group. She was standing in the living room near the foot of the stairs when she felt a sudden sharp pain on her back. When she went to the bathroom to check, there was 3 fresh scratches, just like the ones Tony Pickman had reported. She had no idea about his story beforehand, which makes her experience all the more unnerving.
But that makes me question if it's really just like one sex related, like why, like, you know what I mean, like male relation.
That was a woman. No,
that was a woman.
I don't think that it was. I think maybe like maybe has to do with like the power of the
I
people
was gonna
too.
say it has to be
Like,
something else.
Yeah,
that
'cause-
nobody knows. So.
yeah, because that was her name was Sarah, so
So
it's probably a woman.
it was Zach and his team that went,
Was it?
and I like those guys. Those are the guys that I always
Shelly
watch.
talks about Zach like she knows him because I don't know Zach.
You don't know
I don't
Zach
know Zach either.
Baggins?
No, I don't.
He's the
I
one.
don't.
Oh, okay. Well, he's the one that he's done Ghost Adventures for years and years and years. Then they stopped, and then now they just revamped it, so it's back on TV again. Like recently, actually, one of the guys, Aaron Goodwin, his wife put a hit on him. She's in jail now. Yeah,
Wow.
you hear about that? Yeah,
No.
and apparently in the episode that just aired, I didn't see it, or aired a while ago, he like read the message where he found out that there was a hit on him, like on TV, but it could be for dramatized. But anyways, yeah, I've always watched these guys, and they're the ones that went into the poltergeist house. You know, the one where they shot the movie that they say is cursed?
Mm-hmm.
That was a freaky episode.
Yeah,
I wonder if I've
there's
seen this
there's
episode
just-
because... Sorry. I wonder if I've seen this episode because there was one part where there was a stuffed up... Sorry, Siri was talking to me. There's one where there's a stuffed animal that fell off a shelf.
No, I don't think it was on
a
a shelf,
rabbit.
but maybe. There's just so many ghost adventure like shows. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even remember the guys' names of the ones I used to watch all the time. So,
Yeah.
like, I have pictures of them and shirts of them that they signed, and I still, if you asked me their
Yeah.
name right now, I could not tell you their name. So I'll get into one last story, and then we can end this here. But one of the most famous stories involves a fire. So investigators have often reported strange temperature drops in the house, but one instance was particularly dramatic. During a televised investigation, a fire alarm suddenly blared. When the crew went to investigate, a small fire had started in the corner of one of the rooms. There was no explanation for how it could have ignited, and some believe the malevolent entity was trying to prove its power or perhaps send a clear message. So, there's been some crazy stuff that's happened in that house while recording and not recording and just throughout the years. So
Crazy. And nobody lives in it.
nobody lives in it. No, nobody lives in it. The city owns it. So it's not owned by one particular person right now. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
I would
Sorry.
like it. It's actually pretty terrifying, and I think I'd like to go see it one day. It'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't sound like my fun, but
I don't
Yeah.
think I'd want to stay there, honestly.
I wouldn't
but
stay
to
there,
go
but
tour,
I want to go
tour
see
would
it,
be cool.
investigate it. Yeah, that would be cool.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kansas, but I don't think I would.
What else is in Kansas,
You
Shelly?
got to do it for the podcast, Shelly. Sorry about your luck.
You know what? You guys can go inside and investigate, and I will investigate the outer perimeter,
Okay.
The outer perimeter.
but not on the
The street.
property. The street.
That's
I'll take pictures from the street.
oh, fine. We'll get her to go in. It's fine. She'll have
Let's
to
start with the house here, not far from
Yeah.
me,
locally.
because it's a haunted house.
I thought about doing that one day. Like I should investigate. I should research that one. But I think it would be fun for us to like go live and go
It was owned by a doctor that
like record an episode in there, like about
Dr.
it. I mean,
Sheldon Stringer.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Shelly's like, that's reality now. So hold on.
It would be cool though to do.
It would be cool.
like, yeah.
Well, there's a bunch by you. So I mean, there's what 2 or 3 by you that I think we could do. And I know
By
there's
me?
2 or 3 up here. No, well, I mean, one of them's kind
By
of
me,
closer to
I
you, I
think.
think. But yeah, by Heather. So it should be something we should plan one day for real.
Well, the May Stringer house would definitely be the top one
Top
on my
choice.
list. Mm-hmm.
We should look into it. We could make
in
an episode
Brooksville.
there.
Right.
Anybody out there that would like to take my spot for that interview, please comment.
No, please comment and tell her that she has to for the podcast. So sorry about your luck, Chili. No.
And volunteers to come and hold my hand.
We'll be there, Shelley. We're there to
Yeah,
hold
we'll
your
be there.
hand.
We can hold your hand. We can do that.
I'm gonna have like rosary on my neck and a Bible in my hand and say my prayers.
Oh gosh.
All right, so I think that's gonna end this episode up. So
Yeah, now I get to go to sleep, guys, because this is late at night. Not really.
I was gonna say it's not.
it's 8 a.m. Shelley, what are you talking about?
It's
Yeah,
like
so
8:40 at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. All right. So yeah, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you again next week. And thank you for hanging out with us this week.
Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Dress up, have fun, share your
Yes.
Halloween pictures with us and all the cute kiddos. Because
And
yeah, let us know what
we'll
you dress up
show
as.
our
We like
our
to know.
stuff.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
definitely. We have a
We'll
plan.
post
So
pictures.
we'll post pictures. Yeah. So bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for the laughs, the time we spent, every word, every moment